Hi guys, this is the Betamax Man, and this is going to be part 3, the final part of the SO HFR30. Yeah, this is the R30, I believe. Yeah, this is the R30. So, one thing you'll notice is that I have repaired the button, the rewind button. You remember how, well, it's still somewhat crooked a little bit. It's the best I could do with it, but I glued the plastic tab on the rewind button behind it, and even though it doesn't look all that great, it's not that straight. You can see it's just a hair crooked, but it now works and it functions. I don't want to press it too much because I don't know if the glue is fully set up right now. I think the glue is fully set, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to press too hard on that. And look at this display. You remember there was a scratch that went from like here down to about here. Well, that's almost gone. You can barely see it. It's almost gone. Now, how did I do that? Novus 3, 2, and 1. Novus is an amazing product. It really, now, it depends on how bad the scratch is. If the scratch is really, really deep, you're still going to see it when you're done using it. But if it's small scratches, you can buff on it. I buffed on this thing for about an hour with the rubbing compounds that come with the Novus. So I got that taken care of. And then this thing, it is now working. There was something wrong with the head drum motor, because I actually swapped out the top board, the servo board, and you'll see, let me show you the board that we pulled from the parts machine. So you can see the parts deck is right there, and as you can see, I wanted to use the swap out the front faceplates, but I couldn't because the parts machine, as you can see, all the buttons are gone. So that other deck is pretty well stripped. So I had to repair the button with a glue. And then we swapped out the top board. And even though I did that, I still wasn't getting anywhere. So what I done was I just swapped out the head drum motor, and when I swapped that motor out, it started running at the correct speed. So this thing now runs at the proper speed, and I didn't need to replace the servo board because there was nothing wrong with it. And so it's frustrating because I'm thinking it's got to be the servo board. So I swapped the board. Still not working. I'm checking capacitors. I'm checking other components such as resistors. I'm checking transistors. I'm pulling transistors out of the board, checking them, and then soldering them back in. I'm doing everything I can to try to figure out what in the hell was going on with this thing. And then I decided, you know what, let's just take the head drum out, because I already had it out to begin with when I was working on the loading the tape guide. You remember that tape guide broke on us, and I had to do a repair on that one, so I just swapped out the guide with the, because it has a spring and a plastic piece, and that always breaks. So the drum was already out, right? So after I got done working on that, I was working on the drum, and like I said, I swapped the board out. Everything I did, I couldn't get it to work, you know, because I didn't know what to do, you know. And I'm thinking, man, this thing probably should have stayed as a parts deck, because now, even though I had that drum out, yeah, I took the drum out, but I put it back in and swapped the boards. I still wasn't getting anything, doing all these things to the servo board, trying to check and see and blah blah blah, you know. And to make a long story short, I took this back out. Then I started taking a look at the motor. I checked the capacitors. The capacitors were fine, but I changed them anyway. Still nothing. So I thought, you know what? I've got that parts deck over there. I'm gonna pull the drum out of it, the drum motor out of it. So I swapped out the motors, and I actually did a video on that, but somehow the file got deleted. So the file that was on my camcorder, because I was shooting the video on replacing the head drum motors, and I lost that footage. And I also lost some of the footage of me diagnosing, trying to do that. So unfortunately, the videos were lost. They're gone. So the only thing I could do is basically just explain to you what I've done to this thing, you know, to get it going. We had multiple problems, you know, with this machine, and I don't remember all the problems that it had. I think it might have had a problem with, if I remember right, I think the cassette housing had an issue too. But yeah, so to make a long story short, I've now got it where it's working, and we're gonna hook it up here, and we'll show you that it is now working. There is one thing though, you know, the top on my machine here, it's got some scratches and some scuff marks, and you know, it doesn't look that great. It doesn't show up much on camera. It's not really showing up on camera, but there are like a lot of scratches and stuff on the top board there. So you can see, you might be able to see some of the scratches there. See some of those scratches right there? So this has actually got scratches like all over it. And I tried to buff this out, and I buffed it out. I got it looking better, but still I gotta clean it again because it's all dusty. And, you know, it's just got some scratches, but the donor machine, or the parts deck, and this one was parts too, so I should have left it. It should have been left as a parts deck. It should have never been repaired, because this one had so many problems that I've got way too many hours in this thing. So anyway, but the other deck has a good top. So I'm gonna swap the tops, and I'll show you the top on the other one. So I'm gonna take this top off, and I'm gonna replace it with the other one. Let me show you this top here. Look how good this is. And the top on this one's in so much better condition. So look how much nicer this one is compared to the one that was originally on it. I do like the fact that the sticker is still on this one. However, the sticker is damaged, so I don't care about keeping that because the sticker is damaged. If that sticker was still intact, I would just put that one onto this. I would swap it, but the sticker's damaged, so you know, and this one is in nice shape. So anyway, look how nice that is. I mean, there's like almost no scratches, you know. And if we look, so I'm gonna put this one back on the parts deck. As you can see, there's not much left from the parts machine. Now the circuit board was removed. I got it laying around here somewhere. I've got it laying around. But the top board, I put it somewhere because I swapped them out. I swapped that top board out. So I even took the power supply out and I don't know where the power supply went. So this parts deck, I think I might have used that power supply on another machine or something. So I'm trying to think why the power supply is missing off of it. Maybe I used it on another machine or something, or it might have been that I pulled it out and put it onto my parts storage, because I have a place where I put the machines, and then sometimes, like if I'm pulling good working parts off, sometimes I'll put them in a certain spot so that I know where they are and I can just get access to them. And I also like to label what they are, you know. I know what they are, but I can label on them, like a good working part, you know, is usually what I'll put on it, and then I'll put them in a separate spot. But sometimes I just leave the parts in the machines, you know. But look at this. Of course, this is in bad shape, and of course, this one, as you remember, had all the buttons are missing off of it. So I don't know what happened to them, but I know that quite a while back I bought. If I remember right, quite a while back, probably a year ago, I was working on a customer's machine, because he actually had one of these as well, and I think that's why I ended up buying a parts deck, because I think I used a part out of it to fix his or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, I got so many of these junkers just waiting to be, you know, waiting to get donated parts out of them to make another machine live. But look how nice this is. This front cover is like really, really nice. So we're gonna hook it up. But this is gonna be permanently gonna go on here. And but let's hook it up, and I'll show you that the machine is now working. Okay, we got it all hooked up, and let's put the cassette in. Oops. I forgot to hit power. there we go. So she's working, and like I said, I do apologize for the footage that was lost or deleted accidentally, but you'll know that now the drum is spinning at the correct speed. Before you would hear it, it was too fast, and so that was causing the issue with the playback of the tape, where it was like playing, it was just a hair too fast, and so it wasn't, the servo wasn't locking in like it should have. But this has got a fairly good picture in it. I mean, just the picture quality is pretty good. This tape has been chewed multiple times, so you can, well, it hasn't really been chewed, but it's been wrinkled a few times, because this is like a testing tape. So this is Star Trek 5. So we'll clean the heads, because I've been working on this thing and I was touching the head drum and stuff on it. So I wanna, I wanna get that all cleaned up so that I can put because I want to put another tape in there that, so I'm just gonna clean the drum and clean the heads again, and then we'll be able to put this thing together for the final time. And I just can't believe how good the Novus did on the front display here. Just can't believe how good it is, Now, if I could find a processor, a hi-fi processor. The hi-fi processing board will definitely make this machine worth more money. If it had a beta hi-fi processor, that would turn this into a hi-fi machine, and this would be more valuable. But this machine, with a beta hi-fi processor, I probably could get anywhere from $200 to $250 for it. And this model, this is a nice model. I love the record switch, how you just slide it and it just moves forward like that. So pretty cool. So we can do our counter. Let's reset the counter. We can go ahead and pop it back in. Play. So the question is, do we have picture search? So at least there's no stiction problems, so that's good. So let's just clean the heads, and we'll put it back together, and we'll just get it to where it's looking good. And I lost the this piece. I lost, so I found this piece on the parts deck and I put it on, but it's got dust that's like caked on. It's like stained or something. So I tried cleaning it, but it's just not coming off. So anyway, this machine's done. Sorry that we lost some of the footage. I would have loved to have showed you guys what I done to get this thing going, but I know we swapped this out. We swapped out the bottom board. We swapped out the head drum motor. This is the same head. It's just the motor's been changed on it, and we'll probably do a video on how to change out the head drum on a 711 chassis, because it would be beneficial to show how to swap out the motors for the head drum, and it's not hard. It's fairly easy to do, so it's not something that is really hard. Anyway, but this particular board here, the color is slightly different from the previous board that was on here. You can tell that the color difference. I don't know why some boards, the color shade was a little different. So you can definitely tell this board had been switched, because you can see it's slightly different color. And I've also had to I lost the tracking knob, so I had to get a different one off the parts deck and put this one on. So this thing is working now, so we'll clean the heads, put it together for its final time, and this machine will be ready to go up for auction. And we're going to be selling several machines, as I now have about 5 or 6 machines that I need to sell and get rid of them and make room for more. I sell these things on eBay, so if anybody wants this, you can buy it. Now this particular one, I would like to try and find the hi-fi processor before selling it, but if somebody offers me a reasonable offer, say $150, I would take it, without the processor, of course, because I don't have one. But if I could find a processor and get one working and connect to this machine would be worth anywhere from $200 to $250. So I cleaned the drum and the audio and control track. I've cleaned the capstan, and now I'm okay with putting in one of my personal tapes that we can put in and see how well this thing performs. So I have a large collection of Betamax cassettes. I have probably around maybe 200 tapes, maybe more, of movies and stuff. So one of my favorite movies, of course, is going to be the original Star Wars. Now, I won't be able to show much of it, but because I don't want to get hit with a copyright, but let's just put we can put one of my tapes in. I'm going to put Star Wars in, because it's one of the most iconic movies. It is probably the best movie ever. Now, because this was a brand new sealed tape when I bought it. So this tape is brand spanking new, and you can see how glossy the cover is. It's so glossy. That's because this was sealed at one time. So I'm just gonna put the cover. We'll get the cover and put it over here. But I have Star Wars. Now I need to put the label back on it because the glue has deteriorated and the label is actually starting to come off. But this is on an L550 cassette. So why would they put a little bit more length in there? Because this is not time compressed like the laser discs were. The original, the first releasings on Laserdisc actually were time compressed. And but on Betamax and VHS, they're not time compressed. So I think that's why they put that little bit extra length in tape. But the label is, I think the label's gonna stay. I might have glued it, or no, it's just held there by static electricity. The label's still loose, so I gotta be careful, but like I said, I'm not going to show much of it because I don't want to get hit with a copyright, but you know, this tape was sealed, but it still has a few places where the tape is kind of wrinkled just a little bit or something. It's got those little lines going in and out, and that's, I mean, this tape is very old. Even though this tape hasn't been played only a couple of times, because I bought it new, sealed, and I watched this tape a few times, and it shouldn't have any problems, but you know, it does have some defects on the tape. You can see some dropouts. But you know what, the dropouts are gonna be there. You know, I mean, this tape is, you know, 30 plus years old, so even though it was still sealed, sometimes you'll find the tapes, but Scotch tapes, they tend to wear out prematurely. I don't know why, but Scotch cassettes, they just seem to do that. They wear out prematurely. They're also known for shedding oxide onto the heads, dirtying the heads. So let's just fast forward. The best movie ever. This is the best movie ever made. I can't show much of it, but I can show a little bit of it. And there's the old Republic ships. Yeah, you can tell it's pan and scan, can't you? I have the widescreen releasing on Laserdisc. The THX. I can't show much of it. I'll do that. I'll do that so we don't get hit. I'm just wanting to demonstrate it working. But the tape's in good condition though, other than the few dropouts there in the beginning. The tape seems to play just fine. You know, and I've watched it a handful, you know, a few times since I got it. But it was sealed at one time. This is a great, iconic film. Vader comes through. I have to do that so I don't get hit. But we're gonna get away with showing a few seconds here. Just trying to get a shot of when Vader comes through. Here we go. Here's Vader. He's coming through. Princess Leia. Yeah, this is just truly a great film, and this one has hi-fi stereo, so this is not this is probably the third time that they released the film. This is probably, like, I would say, probably the second time it was released. The second or third time it was released. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part. James Earl Jones did a fantastic job on the voice with of Darth Vader. It's interesting that they used somebody else's voice. I originally thought that James Earl Jones was in the costume, but he's not. It was somebody else. It's just they done the voice over. James Earl Jones is very well known, you know, and I think his role in the voice of Darth Vader was pretty cool. Yeah, there's no life forms because they are artificial life forms. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part. Anyway, that is a great film. Oh, I love Betamax. So anyway, but that is it. So we'll put the top on now, and yeah. But this, oh yeah, see, the label is loose. So basically, the static electricity is holding it in place. But I do need to glue the label back on so that the label doesn't come off. But yeah, this was a hi-fi recording, so this was either the second or third time that this film was released, and this would have been sometime after 1983, because hi-fi came out in 83 for the beta format. So this was probably 85 or 86 release. Might have been an 80, yeah, it might have been 85, or it might have been 86. I think they didn't, I don't know if they released these earlier than 85. I'm not really sure when this was released, but I do know that it was the 80s, and it was one of the... This cover is actually the original cover artwork for the Star Wars trilogy, not only for the beta format, but for VHS as well. So this machine's all back together now. It's officially ready to put up for auction. So this thing will be put up for sale, but I may wait until I can find a beta hi-fi processor for it, and so this thing will be a little bit more valuable. And as you can see, I do have the whole entire trilogy on beta. Now this particular tape is The Empire Strikes Back, but this was I believe an 86 or an 87 release, because this one says digitally mastered, and they didn't put that on there until the late mid to late 80s. I'm gonna say late 80s. So this would have been the last time it would have been released on the beta format. But the other ones just say hi-fi stereo. See, they got the hi-fi stereos, but they don't have the digitally mastered like this one does. So I am going to be on the hunt for the Empire Strikes Back that just says hi-fi stereo, because that will match these two that I have, because I want to match the two other ones, you know, because, and this one doesn't have a sticker on it. It's actually printed on the cover. The beta logo is printed right on the cover. Why didn't they do this from the beginning? I mean, why put a sticker on there? Why not make it like this, you know? Just put the beta logo on there, not putting a sticker on it. As you can see, this one's got a sticker. And if you take those stickers off, what you'll find is that underneath those stickers, it'll say VHS, if we were to pull the stickers off. But the tapes themselves are not really anything spectacular, because you can see that the labels are basically the same. But I know one of you is going to ask, oh, do you have the whole trilogy? Yes, I do. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So I love Star Wars. And then there's the Return of the Jedi. And these are on Scotch, cassettes, and I don't like Scotch, but you know, what can you do, you know, it is what it is. So, but anyway, I like the fact that I have the original trilogy. So that's going to be it on this, and I do apologize for losing the video footage of me changing out that head drum motor. You know, losing the footage on that really sucks because I can't. Part 3 is not really a repair video, it's more of a after repair video. So I think that's what I'll name this one, after repairs, because basically that's what it is. So part 3 is just going to be after repairs and explaining what I've done to it, because I lost the footage for the other, for the head drum motor swapping. Anyway, so I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.